Hello, how's it going, grade 5, and welcome to part 3 of grammar unit 4, the never-ending grammar unit. Now today we're going to be talking about the present progressive. Yesterday we talked about the past progressive in part 2. Today we're going to be talking about the present progressive, so let's go ahead and begin. So how do I make the present progressive? I will use the present progressive to talk about actions happening now. And I will use the verb to be, am, is, or are, and then I will add ing. Am, is, or are, and then I will add ing. Now, of course, some of you might be wondering, when do I use am, when do I use is, when do I use are? It depends on the subject. For example, I will use am with I am. I will use are with you are. I will use is with he, she, or it. And I will use are with we and they. We are, they are. So that's the verb to be. And then I will add ing. And voila, guys, I will have the present progressive. Here are some examples. Cornelius is eating an apple. Now, Cornelius is actually a he. Because Cornelius is a he, I'm going to use is. So if you are not sure what to use, am, is, or are, try to change the subject in your mind to he or she or it, or to I or to you, and it will help you in figuring out which verb to be to use. Cornelius is he, so he is eating an apple. He is eating an apple. I keep leaving the frame by accident. Come on, focus on me, pay attention. Stay in the frame. Stay in frame, Rami, stay in frame. Let's look at another example. You are. Now what do I use with you? Are. Right? So you are watching ing video right now. Agnes is surfing the waves right now. Looks like she's having more fun than us. The students are studying. Now again, students are actually they. And what do I use with they? Are. That's why I said the students are. Okay, so this is how we can create the present progressive. Let's continue. Now, sometimes this is also similar to Grammar Unit 3, the Grammar Unit that we took 2 weeks ago, or even more. Sometimes we can use the present progressive to talk about the future. And here are some examples. Now, the form will still be the same. I will still use verb to be plus ing, so I will still have the same form. But I can use it to also talk about the future. Cornelius is flying to Riyadh on Wednesday. He didn't fly yet. He is flying, not now, on Wednesday, so in the future. Now, usually if this happens, the sentence will have a hint or a key word, a time word. And if you see a key word that's referring to the future, this means we are using the present progressive to talk about the future. So make sure to watch out for the hint. Now, in the first example, the hint or the time word is on Wednesday. I am teaching your class tomorrow. So here the key word, the time word is tomorrow, and I used the present progressive to talk about the future action, tomorrow. I am teaching your class tomorrow. Now, because we are on the subject, because we are on the topic of the present progressive being used for the future, I'm going to show you another example of how we can also use the present progressive in the future as well. I'm going to show you another example, so stay with me. We can also use the present progressive for the future with going to. So how does this form look like? It's part of your lesson. It's an important part in your lesson. So how does this form look like? Same. I will use the same verb to be, am, or is, or are. Am, is, or are. But this time I will use going to. So verb to be, am, is, or are, plus going to, plus the basic form of the verb. This means I will put the verb as it is, without any changes. I will use the OG form of the verb. Let's look at a few examples. Cornelius is, because Cornelius is he, so I will use is, he is. Cornelius is going to, now I'm not going to say selling, I will simply say sell. Cornelius is going to sell apples. I will use the basic form of the verb, sell. Let's look at example number 2. I am going to, now I will not say I am going to buying, no. I am going to buy, the simple form of the verb, the OG form of the verb. I am going to buy apples. A new phone. Apples are on my mind all the time. I am going to buy a new phone. Are you going to pass your exam? Are you going to pass your exam? Now, I put the last example as a question, but I'm still using going to, plus the basic form of the verb. So I didn't change much. Are, because with you I use are. With you I use are. Plus going to, plus the basic form of the verb, pass. Not passing, pass. Are you going to pass your exam? And let me tell you something, guys. The answer is yes. If you are watching this video now, this means you're not only going to pass, you're also going to get your highest mark yet. Let's keep a streak of at least a 90 class average. Okay, guys? Now we have one more page, we have one more topic, and it's how we can use the present progressive in questions. Okay, boys? Okay, guys, not only boys. Okay, guys, okay. So here's how we can use the present progressive as a question. Let me stand over here. I will put the helping verb, I will put a verb to be am or is or are before the subject. So what does this mean? Look, listen. Cornelius is flying. As a question, it becomes, I will switch the order around. It becomes, is Cornelius flying to Riyadh? So I will put the verb to be before the subject. And then after the subject, I will put ing. Is Cornelius flying with ing to Riyadh? Let's look at another example. Now here I wrote, I am teaching your class. As a question, let me switch the order around. Let me put the verb to be before the subject. So what does it become? It becomes, am I? Let me stand over here. Am I teaching? So I will put the verb to be before the subject. I will put the verb to be before the subject. Am I teaching your class? So this is how we can use the present progressive as a question. Let me go back to the question that I already showed you in the beginning. Not in the beginning, a few minutes ago. Let me go back to the question that I showed you a few minutes ago. Let's look at one more example for the present progressive being used as a question. Instead of saying you are, let me switch it around because it's a question. So I would say, are you? Are you going to pass your exam? So verb to be first in questions, and then the subject, and then I will continue the verbs. And then I will put in the verbs, and then I will continue the question. That's it for this video. Are you going to pass your exam? Yes, sir, you are. That's it for this video. It was a short one, it was a quick one, but that's it for part 3. Now, we still have part 4, if I'm not mistaken. We still need to talk about the future progressive. So stay tuned for part 4, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.